The story of the United States is inseparable from the story of war. From the struggle for independence to battles fought across the globe, America's victories have defined not only its destiny, but the world's. This is a rapid-fire journey through the greatest American military triumphs in just a few minutes. Yorktown, 1781. The Revolutionary War was nearing its climax. At Yorktown, Virginia, General George Washington, backed by French troops and a powerful French fleet, surrounded the British Army under Lord Cornwallis. For 3 weeks, American and French artillery pounded the enemy. On October 19th, Cornwallis surrendered. The shocking defeat ended Britain's hopes of crushing the revolution. The victory at Yorktown secured independence and marked the birth of the United States. New Orleans, 1815. Fast forward to the War of 1812. The British launched a final push to seize New Orleans, a vital gateway to the Mississippi River. Waiting for them was General Andrew Jackson with a ragtag army of regulars, militia, free black soldiers, and even pirates. On January 8, 1815, they shredded the British assault with deadly musket and cannon fire. The British lost over 2,000 men. Jackson lost fewer than 100. Though the war had technically ended with the Treaty of Ghent, the victory electrified the young nation and propelled Jackson to the presidency. Gettysburg, 1863. The Civil War's bloodiest battle. In July 1863, Confederate General Robert E. Lee marched his army into Pennsylvania. For 3 days, Union and Confederate forces clashed in farm fields, ridges, and streets. On July 3rd, Lee ordered the infamous Pickett's Charge, a desperate assault across open ground. Union cannons and rifles cut them down by the thousands. Lee retreated south, his hopes of victory shattered. Gettysburg was the turning point of the Civil War. The Union would fight on and eventually prevail. Manila Bay, 1898. The Spanish-American War brought the U.S. onto the world stage. On May 1, 1898, Commodore George Dewey's fleet entered Manila Bay in the Philippines. Within hours, the Spanish Pacific Squadron was annihilated. Not a single American ship was lost. The victory demonstrated America's growing naval power and marked the beginning of the U.S. as a global force. Midway, 1942. 6 months after Pearl Harbor, the Pacific hung in the balance. Japan planned to lure the U.S. into a trap near Midway Atoll, but American codebreakers had cracked their communications. Admiral Chester Nimitz positioned his carriers to strike first. On June 4th, American dive bombers attacked. In minutes, they turned the tide of the war, sinking 4 Japanese carriers. The loss crippled Japan's navy. Midway was not just a victory, it was the turning point in the Pacific. Normandy, 1944 D-Day, June 6, 1944. The largest amphibious invasion in history. 156,000 Allied troops, including more than 70,000 Americans, stormed the beaches of Normandy, France. At Omaha Beach, U.S. forces faced brutal German defenses. Casualties were horrific, but American troops broke through. By nightfall, the Allies had secured a foothold in Europe. The victory at Normandy opened the road to liberate France and ultimately crush Nazi Germany. The Battle of the Bulge, 1944-45. In December 1944, Hitler launched a desperate counterattack in the Ardennes forest. Snow, fog, and bitter cold masked the surprise. American troops were encircled, cut off, and outnumbered, but they fought stubbornly. At Bastogne, the 101st Airborne refused to surrender, replying simply, "Nuts." Within weeks, Allied reinforcements arrived. The German offensive collapsed, and the Nazis spent their last reserves. The Bulge was America's largest battle of World War II, and one of its proudest victories. Inchon, 1950. The Korean War saw another bold American gamble. In September 1950, General Douglas MacArthur planned an amphibious landing at Inchon behind North Korean lines. The tides, mudflats, and seawalls made it risky, but the landing succeeded brilliantly. U.S. Marines stormed ashore, captured Inchon, and retook Seoul within days. The victory turned the tide of the war and showcased America's ability to strike anywhere. Desert Storm, 1991. The Cold War ended, but new challenges emerged. In 1990, Saddam Hussein's Iraq invaded Kuwait. America responded with Operation Desert Storm. On January 17, 1991, the air campaign began. Precision-guided bombs, stealth aircraft, and cruise missiles pounded Iraqi forces. After 5 weeks, the ground war lasted only 100 hours. The Iraqi army collapsed, Kuwait was liberated, and the world witnessed the overwhelming power of modern American military technology. Afghanistan, 2001. After the September 11th attacks, the U.S. launched Operation Enduring Freedom. Within weeks, Special Forces, CIA teams, and air power worked with Afghan allies to topple the Taliban regime. Horse-mounted American soldiers guided laser bombs onto Taliban positions. By December, Kabul had fallen. It was one of the swiftest campaigns in U.S. war history, a demonstration of speed, adaptability, and precision. Iraq, 2003. In March 2003, America launched Operation Iraqi Freedom. In just 3 weeks, U.S. forces stormed across the desert, captured Baghdad, and toppled Saddam Hussein's regime. The campaign was lightning fast by using shock and awe tactics with tanks, helicopters, and precision strikes. Though the aftermath proved far more difficult, the initial victory showcased American dominance in modern mechanized warfare, from Yorktown to New Orleans, from Gettysburg to Normandy, from Midway to Desert Storm. America's victories are stories of risk, sacrifice, and determination. Each battle reshaped not only the nation itself, but the world around it. These triumphs tell us one thing: when history called, America answered.